venue too far, any song at every bar, here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.
Hey y'all, this is the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast with your hosts Madison
and Reed,
and welcome to episode 18. I feel like as we've gotten like these higher numbers, I'm oversaying the episodes. What do you think?
Because it'll eventually get so high, people are like, we get it. There's been a lot.
72.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? I don't think anybody cares. So
no, it's good.
Maybe we'll stop at 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be good. So yeah, we're back, and our next artist that we have is going to be super fun, but we'll talk about him in a second. And then what we've been up to lately.
Yes. Well, Reed just got back from Portugal.
Yeah, so thank you, Madison, for holding down the Twin Rivers fort while I was gone on Instagram and all that. You did a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I was gone in Portugal for like a week. It was super fun. 10 out of 10 recommend anybody going there. Like, country is beautiful. The people are great. Food is amazing. So
we came back all like nice and tan.
I know, it was good.
Bronzed.
So, and they have a genre of music there called fado. It's obviously not anything like Texas country or anything, but if you haven't listened to fado music, I highly suggest it as well. It's very like sultry, kind of like Portuguese. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not going to do it justice, but just to tie it back to music, fado is really good.
Okay, cool. That's
yes.
Actually, was there a lot of live music there?
Honestly, there was like a lot of street like players and stuff, and kind of the touristy spots. We saw the fado player like in this little cafe that we were in, but that's kind of the extent of it.
Okay, cool. I haven't heard about Reed's trip yet, so I'm like wanting to ask so many questions, but I'm gonna hold off until we get off this podcast.
Yeah.
So what we've been up to recently, we did go to the awards at Goofy's that we talked about last podcast. The
Texas Internet Radio Awards for country music, and Drew Moreland invited us out because him and Kayla had a whole set there, and they did great.
So good.
And it was a fun awards. I didn't know that Goofy's had like that whole back area to it.
I didn't either, but it was a good little spot. So Canyon Lake people, go check it out. It's a little obviously dive hole in the wall bar, but it's fun. Good people.
Yeah, and we were really happy to have been invited there. And then we talked to some other artists that have been playing around here that were there as well. So
yes. And then I guess music news, Ryan Hunter released his album.
That's a new one, and they've been promoting it really well on his Instagram, so go check it out. I'm not sure how many tracks are on it, but what I've listened to so far has been really good.
Yeah, it's been really good.
And then also, we're excited that Green Hall's Honky Tonk Thursdays are starting up, and that's a really cool thing that they're doing. They're promoting a lot of like Texas regional artists playing, sponsored by Shiner and Rambler, and it's benefiting the Sims Foundation.
Yes. So obviously we're recording this on Thursday, but this will be out I guess tomorrow. So last night was the first one. Clay Hollis played and the Texases. So it's going to be every Thursday. So be sure to go to Green Hall's website, Instagram to see who's upcoming. A lot of new Braunfels artists. I know Jessie Lee's going to be performing and Kristen Foreman, a lot of other good artists. So that's exciting.
But it's a cool concept for the summertime, like for people that are in town that want to see those bigger shows too, like on Thursday nights. And it's a lot of artists that people around Texas already follow. So
and like upcoming artists too. And I feel like it gives them an opportunity to showcase on the Green Hall main stage. So
we'll be going to those a lot. So y'all be sure to follow along with us because we're going to be posting at them and everything. So.
And they're free.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that. So most importantly, they're free. So you have no excuse not to come out.
Yeah. But keep an eye on our Instagram for everything else because the summertime, as y'all know, like everything picks up even more, like at all the venues and everything. So there'll be a lot of good artists coming through town that maybe aren't from New Braunfels, but all of us New Braunfels people have been waiting to come around. So But yeah, our next interview is one of our good friends, Coby Rotan. We had a good time talking to him the other week. He's been up to a lot with his band, Coby Rotan and the Naturals. And then his Instagram has been popping off too. He's really good at the social media stuff as well. So I'm sure y'all been seeing him promoting his upcoming stuff.
Yes, and he did mention in the podcast that they have been recording. So stay tuned for some good music. I think he said that's going to be like 10 songs or something.
I think 11.
11?
Yeah.
So an album, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
we've been waiting for it, Coby. What the heck?
I know, Coby. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So it was really good to talk to him. Like Reed said, he's very busy, but he's very active on social media. So this next guest, I mean, like, I don't know why I said this next guest because we already said his name, but we hope you enjoy this next episode on the Twin Rivers Music Scene Podcast.
Yes.
Here's Coby. This next artist is an upcoming country musician based in New Braunfels, Texas. He is known for his soft southern sound and authentic Texas roots. His blend of gritty, soulful country music resonates with audiences, captivating them and leaving them wanting more. Earlier this year, he formed his band, Coby Rotan and the Naturals, delivering performances that highlight his heartfelt songwriting and distinctive southern style. This artist has become a staple in the New Braunfels live music circuit, and we are so excited to welcome our friend Coby Rotan to the Twin Rivers Music Scene Podcast.
How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
Good to be here. I like the introduction. That was nice.
Thanks. We try to make everybody feel special, you know?
I like it. Special. Absolutely.
Yes. Put a lot of heart into it.
Y'all did a good job.
So, Coby, what have you been up to lately? I feel like it's been a couple weeks since we've really seen each other.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been kind of bouncing around, working on ranches. Spent some time out in West Texas working on a ranch, and spent some time in between New Braunfels and San Marcos, and just kind of like playing music in between.
Nice. So you're staying busy like all over Texas then? Like,
yes. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like whenever you're posting like on your stories and stuff, I see you're in a different city. I'm like, dang, he's already in Midland, and like the next day you're back over here, and I'm like, he's on the move.
So it's been good. It keeps it from getting too redundant.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, so working like 2 days on a ranch, 2 or 3 days on a ranch, playing music on the weekend. So
busy.
Yeah, it's busy, but it's good.
What are you doing out on the ranch?
Anything from fixing fence to digging holes to working or running a tractor and moving dirt around and checking on cows and all the things. So
I love it.
Are you enjoying it? Because I feel like that's like you like to do that kind of stuff.
I feel like I enjoy it like once the day is over.
Yeah, it's
like
rewarding.
In the moment, it's like at 3:00 sitting on a tractor. I'm kind of like, I don't know if this isn't it. This is not it. But no, it's good. It's good to stay moving and keeps me feeling like healthy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know,
sure.
Getting that, burning some energy.
Yeah, you're out in the sun, you're sweating, like you probably feel like really good at the end of the day when you're tired.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
To hear.
Awesome.
It's
okay,
good.
So you're from Midland.
Born and raised.
Yeah. Love it. How was that transition when you moved here to New Braunfels, Canyon Lake area?
It was so it was pretty hard at first.
Really?
Yeah. So I moved to Seguin first of all, and I got an apartment in Seguin. And once I got moved in, I didn't know anybody down here, and I was thinking, what have I done? You know. So it was hard at first.
Especially being in Seguin, because that's like a little bit detached from the New Braunfels scene, so you probably felt like further out there.
Yeah, I think I met I lived in Seguin for like 4 months, and I met like 2 people at the bar. So it didn't, not until I moved to New Braunfels was it that I kind of found the music scene and kind of got in a groove here and met some friends around this area. But now looking back on it, it was one of the best moves I've ever made, because I'm glad I didn't get stuck in Midland for the rest of my life. Working in the oil field, sitting on my back porch with my dog with no friends. So it was good. It was definitely a good switch, and I'm proud of this area and being able to move down here and go to the river when I want to and play music and all the things. So
what made you choose down here?
Well, when I was younger, my parents would bring me down here and we'd come vacation, just like a lot of people, go to Green Hall and all that. And with me loving music the way that I do, it was just it was a good fit. And I just knew in my heart that this was the area where I wanted to be. So, and it worked out good.
Yeah, it is working out good.
For sure. So when I moved to Seguin, my folks were like, well, maybe Seguin's the spot. And I was like, well, maybe, but probably not.
Yeah.
So now that I've moved out to Canyon Lake, it's a lot better. It's a lot prettier than Seguin too. So
yeah, for sure. With like all the hills and the lake, even though it's low, it's still like nice to be out there and around it in the river.
It's still good to have a place to go dip your toes in the water for sure.
So when you moved here and you were getting into the New Braunfels space, like what made you just decide to start playing, and how was that process like?
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting thing. I didn't necessarily move down to this area for the number one purpose to play music, but I had some friends that I was living with that were from California that at the time I didn't really know that well, but we just, kind of sat around in the living room and hung out together and played songs and stuff, and they talked me into going to the Poorhouse open mic. And so
good old Poorhouse.
Yep. So that's where it all started on a Tuesday night at Poorhouse, and of course JJ Villarreal and Doug Garrett, they do a great job up there, and they welcomed me with open arms that first night and kind of made some friends off the rip, and from there here we are. So that's kind of how it all started. And then once I did my 3 songs or whatever, I was like, hey, this is it. This is where it's at. Like, this is for sure what I want to do. And then from there, I had a couple songs in my back pocket that I'd written, through college and working in the oil field out in West Texas. And so I had, just a handful of songs, and started kind of talking around to some just networking, and some friends linked me up with Yellow Dog Studios.
Shout out to Yellow Dog.
Shout out Yellow Dog. So Casey Johns and Colin Tucker over there. I started getting to know those guys and started, playing the songs for them, and then went out there and hung out with them on the river, and we started recording, and it turned out, and that was my first little project, my first 5-song project. And the main goal with that was just to finish the songs. Right. Full production. Mm-hmm. And once we finished the songs, I didn't know what to do from there. I still don't really, but it was fun, and so that was the process for that anyway. And then so I think really after that process of recording the 5 songs full production, I knew that the studio space was something that I was passionate about. So I knew that was kind of the moment where I was like, because I didn't even know if I was going to like it.
Right.
I knew that I liked playing songs on the back porch for some friends, but I didn't know if I liked the strictly business, if you will, going into the studio and doing it the full route. But yeah, it turned out, and it's from then on I kind of knew that was what I wanted to do, and that I loved it. So
that's a really good point, because I feel like a lot of people, you have to do the whole business side, but some people might not like the whole studio and getting all the nitty gritty and stuff. So I like that point. That was a good one. Did you grow up playing, like when you were little? When did you start singing? Is anybody in your family musically talented?
No, there's not really. I don't come from a long line of musicians or anything like that, but my brother, when he was in high school, which he's 6 years older than I am, but he picked around with his buddies, and I kind of thought they were cool, so I felt like I'd try my hand at it, and started kind of playing with those guys. So it was, early on in high school, really, that I picked up a guitar and started playing. But I guess the first time that I really realized that I was passionate about music was my brother gave me one of those little iPod shuffles that doesn't even have the screen.
Yes, just the little buttons.
Yeah, and it had like 180 songs on it, and there was like there was only 5 songs that I liked on there. It was like a Randy Rogers song, Robert Earl Keen song, just a few songs, and I would just like shuffle through it until I found that song, and then just listen to those over and over. And that's kind of when I was like, oh, I knew that I loved music early on, but I didn't play till high school. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's also cool when I feel like when we do these interviews, some people knew New Braunfels, you know, was a big music scene. That's kind of why they moved here if they weren't originally from here.
Sure.
But other musicians, I found out that they didn't know, and I feel like it's cool that, I don't know, I feel like everything works out how it's supposed to be. Like, you ended up in the right city to pursue what you liked, even though you didn't know at the time. So
absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, like there was something drawing you here, you just didn't know it was that yet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. How did your band, Coby Rotan and the Naturals, come together, and what are the guys in your band like? Tell us more about them.
Yeah, so I guess coming up on a year ago now, I did a songwriter competition in Green, and was kind of ran into a few guys through that, and then the guy running the studio knew some guys, and I kind of told him what I was looking for, and looking for a band to start touring around Texas, of course. And so he linked me up with Lincoln Love and Honky Tonk Red, which were kind of like the 3 amigos in the band, and kind of started it together. And we said, well, you know, heck, we'll practice together and see if we even like each other, and started spending some time around each other.
Little trial run.
Little trial run.
That's important,
exactly.
you know, to like your band members.
Absolutely, yeah, because you're going to be with them a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we started practicing together, and we all vibed well, and we could do the business side of things and have a good time and separate that, and so it worked out good. So here we are 9 months later. We're building a 11-song project that we're getting ready to start dropping songs. We don't have a date of when we're going to start releasing yet, but we've got one more day in the studio, so we're excited about that, and we've been building it. So
that is exciting. We have been seeing some of your content that y'all have been in the studio. So can you like give us any more insight of like the studio process and like the songs that y'all are recording?
Yeah, for sure. So like the first 3 songs we kind of went in, and that was like kind of part of the trial run, like how do we work together in the studio. And so we got in and we recorded a handful of songs that I wrote, one called Make You Smile, Texas Heartbreak Baby, and Fighting Chance of Getting Sober.
I love that song of yours.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So those were the first 3 that we recorded, and full production came out well. So we said, at the time, we didn't know we were going to do a full album. We were just kind of seeing where it went, if that makes sense. And so we got those 3 done, and we said, well, let's keep going with this. And then we did 3 more, and then 3 more, and we were like, all right, well, where do we stop? And so
there's no stopping.
Yeah.
So we decided on 11 songs, so it'll be 10 full production songs and then 1 just acoustic song.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Called Missing Home, and that'll kind of end the album, and it talks about just kind of the grit and things that you have to go through when you move away to chase a crazy dream. So.
And did you write all these songs, or did y'all write some of them together?
I wrote all the songs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What made you choose that last song for it to be your acoustic song to end on?
I just felt there's a lot of finger picking in it, and I feel like that song really got the point across of, you know, it doesn't really need a lot of extra instrumentation and stuff like that. So we just felt like, you know, this doesn't really need anything else. So you can kind of hear it in my voice and what I'm talking about in the song, and we were like, well, I think that's it. So
that's awesome.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
Speaking of your songwriting, I love your songwriting. I feel like it's very unique in the space. You're a great storyteller. Are your songs more like observational, or?
I would say observational. My songs I like to, if I can paint a picture in a song. My favorite song of all time is "Feeling Good Again" by Robert Earl Keen, and that's one of those songs that every time you hear that song, like you have a certain picture in your head. I feel like, and that's what I try to create with my songs, is something specific, things that people can picture a certain moment and see that picture over and over again as when they hear the song, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where do you like to go write your songs?
You know, that's a good question. I've written songs in a lot of different spots. I like to go, I've written a lot of songs just late at night, drinking a cup of coffee because I'm tired.
Yeah.
And just in my house. And then I've written some songs with buddies, and written some songs down by the river with my dog. And so I have all different spots. I think for me it's more of the headspace that I'm in versus where I'm at, if that makes sense. I have to be in that right headspace, and a lot of times I'll have 3 or 4 songs that I've started and I've got some bones for it, and if I get in that right emotional headspace, then I can kind of, knock them out pretty quick a lot of times. So I might finish three songs in a couple of days, and then go a month and not write a whole lot. And I think a lot of people, it's kind of, people think, oh, you got to write every single day. Well, not necessarily. You build up some emotion and know what you want to say, and then put it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So
Sounds so simple.
So you were talking about how you like to paint a picture with your songs, and you have one that you released, I think it was like 2 years ago now, about the Comal River, and I love that. It's a perfect summer song. Yeah, the Yeti song. So we'll be listening to that at the river all summer. But
Cool.
like, you legit paint such a cool picture where you're like, we're going from the river down to Green Hall, and like you're kind of like following in your head like the whole night throughout New Braunfels. And so that's a really good example of how you do that with your songwriting.
Heck yeah, for sure. Well, thank you. Y'all keep streaming it.
Yeah, we need to be
Song of the summer.
every summer. And then
That's right.
kind of touching back what she said earlier too with your social media that you do, I feel like you stand out amongst like all the other musicians in town, and that like you really utilize social media in your own creative way, and you can really get a perspective of like who you are, even if we had never met you before, just seeing through like what you post.
Cool.
And
Heck
your
yeah.
music and everything. Is really entertaining to follow along too. So like, how do you strategically utilize social media? Because you can tell that you have like a plan behind it when you're watching it, and like how do you use that to promote your music?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think bringing lifestyle into your music is a big thing, because everybody can relate to lifestyle. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of guys that work hard and work on ranches, whether it's ranches or any type of blue collar work, whether it's oil field or ranch work. And I just think that if you can mix those two together, it's a win-win. And I want to show people like who I really am, not just that, I'm not just a songwriter. I'm a guy that there's some grit behind it, and I work on ranches, and I want people to kind of want to hop on the train and follow the story behind all of it. So yeah.
It's very authentic. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reed over here is wearing some of your merch.
Okay, everybody.
If
Represent.
anybody can see it, there's a raccoon on it, and we have to know what is the story behind the raccoon.
There's not really a crazy story. I've always liked raccoons. I think they're funny, and I like how they use their little hands to kind of like people.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
It is. It's pretty wild.
I would hate to tell you that a couple weeks ago I accidentally ran over a raccoon, and
Oh,
it broke
no.
my heart.
Oh my goodness.
gosh.
So this is in tribute of that little raccoon that's sad. But you were thinking about getting a pet raccoon for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, I really wanted to. I still do.
Yeah.
I still want a lot of different animals. Big animal guy. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to have a raccoon sit on stage and take tips from people.
That would be
Honestly,
amazing.
that would be
I think that would be awesome.
They
Train
are
'em.
really cute when they're little.
Yeah.
Like babies.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're cute when they just sit there. It's when they start walking. It's when it's a little like.
So you just carry it everywhere. You refuse to let it
Yeah.
walk around.
Yeah.
Or it
Because
pisses you out.
there was this little baby raccoon that came. This was like years ago, and I have a little video of it. I'll show you. He was so cute. I wanted to go talk to him, like have a conversation. I wanted to go get him so bad because he was a little baby. He was so cute, and I was just looking at him through the window, and then he started walking off, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's when it gets a little,
It's
a little
Yeah.
testy.
Well, there was someone that brought to the green light a couple years ago a baby raccoon, and they were
really?
like, it was during like a bike night or something, and they were letting people like hold it, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna hold this baby raccoon.
Absolutely.
And it was like clawing up my shoulder and stuff, and I was like, wait, when did y'all get this raccoon? They're like, we literally found it last week in a dumpster, and I was scared that like from the claw marks, I was like, great, now I'm gonna get some kind of like gross thing from this raccoon, but it was cute.
That's pretty wild.
Do you think River would like accept a little raccoon in her home?
I don't think River.
Or his home, sorry.
I don't think River would like any other animal in his house.
River is his dog, by the way.
Outdoor raccoon. Yeah.
Because I've thrown the idea around of getting a cat or a raccoon or anything else crazy that you could think of that normal people wouldn't have in their house.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what other animal like would you get?
Turtles.
Okay.
Like a giant.
Turtles not that crazy. You could literally probably go get one from the
Yeah.
yeah. Just go in there.
Yeah, for sure.
You can have River pick which one you want.
I saw one the other, like a big turtle at the ranch the other day, and I wanted to put it in the back of my truck and take it home. But then I thought, what if this is my boss's pet?
Yeah.
Take his pet turtle home. And then I have to have that weird conversation like, oh, I put your turtle in the back of my truck. I'm too old for this.
Out here stealing turtles.
But, yeah, so I think if you could have a pet raccoon sit in your guitar case and take tips, that might be my next viral video.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you would definitely blow up.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
probably shouldn't be saying it on here because somebody's going to take my idea.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
we have it.
trademarked.
Yeah, we have it literally on record,
Video.
So.
And today is May 17th. So if you do it after that, after watching it, then you copied Coby Rotan.
We're coming for you, looking so intensely in the camera.
Do you have deer that come up to your house out in Canyon Lake that you could kind of like domesticate a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
So maybe those
there
could
was
be it.
actually this morning when I was leaving, my neighbor was feeding one of the deer out of his hand. But I guess he's been training that deer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they'll get within 10 feet of you out at Canyon Lake. So,
Okay, well,
pretty
other
cool.
being an animal lover, what is something that people would be surprised if they don't know about you that you would like to share?
oh, that's a tough one. Something
Tell
that
us your
people-
secrets.
That people
Just
would
kidding.
Or
be
like
surprised.
a skill that you have that you don't think people would
A
assume.
party trick.
Oh, party trick.
Like, do you have any like pre-show rituals that you do, or like before you write a song?
Pray. Like,
Pray.
God, please don't let me
Something
pass out.
you don't know about Coby is he's a godly man.
That's right.
Actually, you know that because
Yeah.
Coby represents that because he's kind to
And
everybody.
Just, God, please don't let me pass out on the stage. Oh, yeah. So recently I've kind of taken up painting.
Painting.
Yeah. I like to, I'm not any good at it yet, but I do like to put my thoughts on a piece of paper one way or the other. And so I've been painting things that are pretty simple, like oil rigs and green hull, and I don't think I'm ready to take them to the farmer's market to sell yet, but that might be something in the future, start selling my artwork, but I'm a long ways from that point.
That's actually really cool. I love that. Another musician in town, actually, you know what you should do, and I don't know if I should be stealing his ideas,
Maybe don't.
but it's okay. I'll just say I don't think it. He doesn't listen to this podcast, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, very good.
And I'll just give him a shout out. Dustin Schaefer. He's been starting to like do like these lyric sheets.
Really? Okay.
Yes, and he like draws, and they're like good, like they're cool. But he like writes out all of his lyrics, and he like draws like the picture of like whatever like the song is or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you should do that. Sorry, Dustin, if that's but I didn't go to school, and since you're painting, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Something
No,
cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
What are you painting with? Are you using like oil or watercolors
like
or what?
oil painting,
Okay.
oil colors. Yeah. So it's nothing fancy. I got the Amazon special. It's like the Hobby Lobby. You know, you've got like 50 different colors, and you can mix them on your. I don't even know what it's called, but you can mix
It's like
all
a palette,
your.
right?
Yeah, the palette. Yeah, you can mix all your colors on the palette. So.
Have you made any cool colors?
Yeah, working on it.
You know what you could also do is like paint the different venues that you play at, and you could like sell them at your shows too.
That's
like out of your guitar case.
Yeah, you should make your own like posters.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think you could do. Wouldn't just have to do like the outside, like take a picture inside of here. You know, like at the door or something. And then have something to go off of and paint it and then sell it to the venue.
Yeah, the venues would love that. Like if someone came into Riley's, like an artist, and brought a painting of like any kind of scenery from in here, it would immediately get hung up, and like the owners would love it, the bartenders, everything. So that'd be a really cool way.
And then
of,
I could like paint myself, like get the stage in there, and then paint yourself on the stage with a raccoon.
You should paint this scene of us interviewing you.
That's a great idea. I like it.
You know, like how they have like the signature on the bottom of the painting. You could do your signature, and then you could even do like a little raccoon paw or something for like your.
Yeah, that's cool.
That'd be cool.
We're just coming up with all these cool ideas.
There's Bring my raccoon and dip his paw in the paint and then put it on the painting.
Oh my God,
it's
that'd be
like
iconic.
That's my stamp.
True. We're onto something.
Oh, for sure.
It's gonna be a whole production. You're gonna have like a whole art gallery out here soon. When you're not working out on the ranch or playing music, what are your go-to spots around Canyon Lake and New Braunfels that you like to hang out at? What are you doing in your free time?
So I bought a house out at Canyon Lake a couple of years ago now, and I've got a couple of private access spots where I can go just down to the lake and there's nobody around. And that's any body of water where there's nobody around. Those are the best spots to me. So I like Cypress Bend, anywhere in town too, you know, that you can kind of pull off on the side of the road that a lot of other people don't know about or go to, which it's hard to find, but there's a couple of spots that you can pull over and get down there and look at the fireflies and stuff, you know. So
I love it. Are you team Comal or Guad?
Guadalupe, 100%.
Honestly, it's so true. Like, we don't want to be on the Comal.
No.
Okay, no hate to the Comal. Comal's good when you're wanting to lay out.
It's in my song too.
Yeah, exactly. His song's about the Comal River.
But that's when I lived in Lubbock, Texas, and
it's different.
Any water was cool then. You know.
Now we're open to more options.
Yes, that's right. We're Guadalupe River.
I'm just kidding. We like the Comal. We love any body of water.
You know what I think it is maybe like when you're more local, you gravitate towards the Guad, and then if you're like used to vacationing here and stuff, I think that's the Comal vibe.
And that's why all New Braunfels locals like the Guad one.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Why.
I agree. My favorite stretch of the river, the Guadalupe River, is at Cypress Bend Park. And
we love Cypress Bend.
Yeah.
But over or on the other side of the rapids.
The rapids to the left or the right when you're looking at the river?
On the right.
Oh, okay.
So if you can get past those rapids on the right, like back towards Faust Bridge and all that, where the cypress trees are coming over the river, like that, to me, that's the best spot.
Really?
Yeah, it's like not crowded down there. Once you get past the Como, you know, like towards the Faust Bridge, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Is that the part where the rivers merge together, like the Comal and the Guad?
Yes, yes.
The dams back there?
Exactly.
Like when we're at the, because you paddleboard
kind
too.
Of,
like the little like drop off?
But not quite that far.
Okay.
At the Faust Bridge. In between the Faust Bridge and where the Como and Guadalupe meet.
Maybe we shouldn't be saying this on record, so like
rapids.
nobody goes.
We're
getting like too detailed, and I'm like, wait a second.
Everybody. And then I'm going to go out there tomorrow afternoon, and there's just going to be people everywhere.
Right. They're like, thanks for the idea, Coby.
Like, wait a second, I'm asking way too many detailed questions. Okay, we'll talk after.
Yeah. It's secret.
I'm just kidding. We'll give y'all our secrets, because this is New Braunfels Locals. So back to before we let you go.
Okay.
When do you think that album is going to come out?
Well, so one of the songs that I wrote on the album is called Black Gold, and it talks a lot about just your blue-collar worker.
That's me.
Anybody in America in the oil field or any line of or blue-collar line of work, I think can appreciate this song. And we've sent it over to the show called Landman by Taylor Sheridan.
Oh, that would be amazing.
This is iconic, Coby.
So we're hoping that, you know, fingers crossed, and we can catch a break, and that song will get featured on the show Landman. So that would be a huge break for us, and then we wouldn't have to beg people to listen to our songs.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, what's Manifest?
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna manifest.
I like doing that.
We're gonna be Coby Rotan. Song's gonna be on
Season
Landmark.
2 of
Season 2 of
Landman.
Landmark.
Landman.
That's in New Braunfels.
Yeah. So.
Landman.
Yeah.
But we're in the waiting period on that, so we want to see what happens with that. And right now we're just kind of putting together a plan. But I would say the first song drops will be towards the end of the summertime.
Okay.
But we're trying to do it strategic in a way that, not just our friends hear it, but we can get it out there to the world, and more a lot of people will hear it. So.
Do you think you'll ever try to go into the radio space?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
you did that with Yeti song, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Okay.
I didn't really do anything with my first project other than put it on Spotify.
Yeah. All
So
the
we're-
listening platforms.
But that's how you learn, right? So
Of course.
so this
it's all
is-
about trial, not really error, but it's just kind of like trying new things.
Learning as you
yeah,
go.
just
learning
learning as you go.
Yeah.
So we're taking a different approach to this project, and we're going to do radio and all the things and try to do it one time and do it right. So.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm excited to see where everything goes and to
Yeah.
continue to watch you.
Yeah.
Do you want to, I always say plug yourself, but
Yeah.
do you want to plug yourself and show, or so people can listen to you, follow shows, merch, all the things on Instagram, if you have a website?
Yeah, for sure. So everything's under Coby Rotan and the Naturals, and on Facebook and Instagram and website and all the things. So yeah, hop on the train, if you will. So.
Yes, the raccoon chain.
And you have TikTok too, right?
Yes. I have
Okay, so
TikTok
follow
as
them on
well.
TikTok too, because you post a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you again, Coby, for coming out here on a
Yeah.
Saturday morning and talking with us. It was good to see you again because it's been a while.
Yeah,
Has
good
you
to see
all
y'all.
hung out
Thank
or
y'all
anything.
thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we go?
I think that's it.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
thanks again. This has been the Twin Rivers Music Scene Podcast with your hosts, Madison and Reed, and our guest and friend, Coby Rotan. Thanks,
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
No venue too far, any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.